Appleton, and I'm going to be filming a kind of interesting area. It is private property, so I'm not allowed to go into it, but I will explain what I'm here for in just a second. So in front of me here is what used to be the old Outagamie County Asylum for the Insane. This building, built in 1889, it was designed to house roughly 100 people. There were a couple of lawsuits brought against the superintendent, George Downer, on May 13th on behalf of a patient by the name of John Reifelt and his guardian. Reifelt and other unnamed patients were castrated, and the suit claimed that Downer had approved these illegal operations. Now, on May 24th, 1913, it was discovered that the physician who performed the castrations was one James Canavan, who was also the mayor of Appleton, the 31st mayor of Appleton. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this story because it is a story that we talk about on our Appleton Haunted History and Mysteries tour. You're more than welcome, if you're in the area or in Wisconsin near Appleton, to come up and check it out and get the full story on the tour. But I will tell you a little bit about what happened here. George Downer, who was the superintendent, ended up taking his life on April 26, 1915 by jumping off an Appleton bridge. There were also other reports of abuse at this particular asylum. It was supposed to have only 100 patients when it was built, and it was totally overcrowded. They had like 150 beds at one point and 268 patients, with 11 to 14 patients per room, as opposed to the original 100 patients. They had 268 at one point. In 2000, it was determined that the health center was obsolete, and it was demolished here in 2001. So that's what happened here on this particular site, the Outagamie County Asylum for the Insane. And not a very good history from what it sounds like, huh? So there's another spot right in this area that we're going to go to that has some more interesting history. So let's go check that out now. We are going to check out the Outagamie County Cemetery, which was attached to the insane asylum that we just talked about. So down this creepy path, well, it's not creepy during the day, but my sister and I walk down this thing at night. It's pretty creepy. It is upper 50s today. It's supposed to get down to upper 30s tonight for middle September, late September. That's pretty cool. But it's supposed to warm up again and get into the 60s, maybe even the 70s again. We'll have warmer temps again. But it's a sign of things to come. It's fall. And it feels like a beautiful fall day today. Got a nice little bridge here with the creek over on both sides. Very quiet, very peaceful here. Very quiet. Except for the noise from Highway 41, which is a little bit to the west of where we are. So the path here goes off. And as we walk up here, this is where you have the Outagamie County Cemetery. Now, the interesting thing about this cemetery is, for quite a long time, we're talking decades, there was no markings, and to this day there are still no markings. These are all the people who rest here. A couple years back, I want to say 2014, a community group began restoring this property. Now this is the cemetery right here. You wouldn't know that. You would think it's like a park or something like that, because it does not look like a cemetery. There are no gravestones. The way you can tell is they have these little markings here. Burial row 1. Burial row 2. They really got to keep this up a little bit better. You can't even see the 2 on there, but that's burial row 2. And it just keeps going. Burial row 3. Burial row 4. Some of the patients that were buried here were as young as 14 and 15 that resided at the asylum. All these burials are from the asylum that we just took a look at. What's now just an empty lot, but the old Outagamie County Asylum. Had I known that place was there back in the day, oh, I would have loved to have gotten up here and seen it, but I had no idea. You know, it was research from doing the tours that we found out about this place, and I was like, oh man. But anyhow, look at how peaceful and beautiful it is. It looks like a little park, but it's actually a burial ground. But at one point there were actually grave markers here to determine who was buried in the cemetery, but it had become such overgrown, and by the mid-70s you couldn't even tell. You know, there were no defining plots or headstones. It had just become a mass grave, you know. Kind of like reminds me of Bachelor's Grove, but not in as rough of shape right now anyways, but I bet you back in the day it was pretty rough. So thanks to people in 2014, they worked on a project to give these 133 souls a proper resting place. So hopefully now that this place is being kept up and taken care of, these souls will get the rest that they were searching for. There have been known to be disembodied voices and screams in this area. In peaceful rest may your souls reside, your earthly burdens laid aside. Once forgotten, perhaps unmourned, with heavenly blessings be now adorned. Your timeless sleep, unmarred by dreams, let your brows be unfurrowed, for you're now redeemed. And there's a little headstone in memory of Pat Langman, 1931 to 2017, friend of the cemetery. And there's Highway 41, the traffic noise coming from right over there. But other than that, very, very peaceful here. So we are going to go down this little path, which will take us to the next location of Appleton. This is a pretty neat path, nice nature path here. This is the Fox Valley College grounds, and what they do here is, it's a technical college, I believe, Fox Valley Technical College. Look at the pretty flowers. Ooh, cattails. That's what we used to call them, cattails. I think that's what they're called still. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? Nice little nature area here, lots of flowers, colors. Even for September, lots of color yet. And there's the interesting thing I wanted to show you all. The freeway. No, I'm kidding. This, over here. That is Fox City Stadium. Home of, well, at least not this summer, but home of the Timber Rattlers. Woo! That was a walk. That was quite a walk to get from where I am to here. But saw a game here last season. Pretty neat time. It was fun. And unfortunately, due to COVID, there are no games here this year. But I bet you didn't know that Fox City's, at least Appleton, had a semi-pro baseball team called the Timber Rattlers. If you're ever in the area, check it out. It's a good time. Pretty cheap too.